Hello, everybody. I'm Jalen, and we're back here at my gingerbread house that I built about this time last year, and I thought it'd be fun to come back here and expand on the area a little bit and just take this concept and run with it because I'm really liking it. I like the excuse to build with all the colors, and it's nice we already got this original house built to kind of be our base of operations with our mending villager in here. 1 emerald for mending. It's more on him later, though, but yeah, it'd be nice to have this ready to live out of while we do some work here. And my plan is to just chop a bunch of these trees down and do a little terraforming here and get a little village built up here. I was originally planning on just doing one slightly bigger gingerbread house, but I decided it'd be more fun to just have this be a village that slowly expands. So yeah, gonna start with a little tree chopping session here. And I'm going to cut a lot of the tree chopping and different resource gathering sessions out like I like to do. And just have this be a nice, satisfying build process video so you can really just see the village come together here. So yeah, I needed to do a little terraforming just to get ourselves some land to work on, and just extended a nice little terrace here to put the buildings on and get the path wrapped around. Yeah, we'll expand on this a little bit, but first we'll figure out exactly how our path is going to lay here. So kind of figure I'm going to come around here, and then I work my way down to have it meet up with the path that we already had, and slowly but surely just met them up and worked a stairwell up the top and went around the edge. Using the cherry wood and the dark oak, I think they're a good combo. Kind of candy colors. The dark oak's perfect for chocolate, obviously, and yeah, good excuse to use the cherry wood. Something different. Trying to keep things lit up as I build here, but I don't do a very good job of that. I end up definitely fighting some mobs as I build along here, but definitely got a nice area to work here and take a flight out to what ends up being our viewing platform. And yeah, you can see a nice little setup down there. It's going to look a lot better when we get it blended in with some terraforming, and I end up using the blue ice. I would usually use stone, but I just had the idea to try some ice since we're in the mountains, and we had a whole bunch available under the mountain, so I didn't have to destroy any of my area. And I'm really glad I did this because I really think it adds a whole bunch to the area. Just that pop of blue is so much cooler than the pop of gray, especially when you fly out here and get a look. And yeah, ice is something that I've always known in the back of my mind I should build with more because I think it's just a really cool block. And yeah, like I said, that really stands out and just looks really cool. It'll be a nice base to build on top of here. And good excuse to build with some ice. It actually blends with the cherry wood path really well. But yeah, I was ready to get planning my village out here, so I just went around and did my sketching like I do, figuring out the footprint of the buildings, trying to sneak some angles in there just to keep things interesting. Having to chop a bunch of trees along the way, but making it work. And yeah, we're not going teeny with these buildings by any means, and when we add them all together, it's going to end up being quite a big build. Yeah, like I said, trying to mix some interesting shapes in. This will be the biggest build of them all. I worked my way down to the lower level and kind of did the same thing here. Splitting this one up into 3 separate buildings, though. And at this point, I was really liking the layout of the village here and admiring my work. I looked at an Enderman. I had to get away from him. Those who've been following along in my hardcore world that I've been streaming on quite a bit lately know what kind of episodes I've been having with Enderman, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to keep this in the episode here. But as we have in that world every time, we made it out. I didn't know I got them here, so I was kind of scared coming out, but I think the deep snow got them. And yeah, at this point, I was really liking the layout and feeling like we had a good scale figured out, and I got placing blocks. And let me say, this took a whole lot of mud bricks. I came over well prepared with all kinds of blocks, which was nice, really had me building at a good pace. And for this building, I actually decided to go the full roof and everything, just make the full gingerbread house. But I ended up going away from that just because the roof takes so many blocks, and I was cutting it close, so I ended up using just snow, since I was going to go over the top with snow anyway later. But yeah, just placing lots of mud bricks here. We'll come back and texture things a little bit at some points as well, but they do work perfectly for a gingerbread house. And once I started to get these walls up, I was really starting to get excited about this area. You can see how many mud bricks it was taking though. Like I said, I just ended up going with snow for the roof since I was gonna do that anyway over the top, so it ended up saving me quite a few bricks here. Yeah, some of them at the interesting angles. You just gotta work your way up. And the roofs really make a difference, and I actually really liked how that looks with the snow right on top there. Go ahead and take the flight to our viewing platform so we can just really watch the area progress throughout the episode. And yeah, I think that is just looking awesome, especially at night with the way it just pops and the way it's nestled in the hills here. This whole episode, I just get more and more excited as I go. Yeah, come down here and just the vibe overall, I'm just really feeling, especially with the snow. I'm really enjoying building in the winter areas. I've been building in a winter area on stream as well every now and then, and I'll be going back to that here pretty quickly because I'm really enjoying that. But we did have a little mistake here. I had been blocking the doors so that my villager would be safe, and I think I blocked it when he wasn't in here at some point. And we lost our 1 emerald mending villager. Super sad about that. I was trying to be smart, and unfortunately it was the complete opposite. Yeah, thought I'd go to sleep, just keep phantoms away, and then it was time to get going on bringing these buildings to life a little bit. Starting with some candy cane borders. I like the idea of going with the green and white for some of the buildings here, just so they're not all the red and white candy canes, and I think that ends up being a cool theme that kind of brings everything together, especially when I start bringing in all the other random colors. Something that kind of keeps some unison between the buildings. And it just really adds so much. Get the little candy canes hanging off the side. And just, yeah, so much character. Definitely brings that Christmassy vibe right there. So I went around to all the buildings, like I said, kind of alternating, some red and white, some green and white. Having to work my way up interestingly sometimes, but we made it work. I think the angled buildings actually look really good. So we went down and did the same at the lower level. Oh man, definitely starting to get that vibe I'm going for here. Just the stages of this build is so fun to watch come together. Then I went around and just did some little street lights with some candy canes. Now it would have been better to use mangrove wood here, but I just didn't have much handy, so I might end up trading it out. But I thought these little lights hanging over the street, I'd adjust them here just a bit in a second. As always, just getting the lamp posts along your path really does make a difference. But I just wasn't liking how far it was hanging over, so I ended up knocking it back one, even though it made it so the fence connects on both sides. But I still thought it looks better like this. And yeah, we're starting to get a little village up here at this point. I think the view from down here is really cool as well. And I just really like how the candy canes are setting the vibe up there and really pronounce the buildings as well. So I just kept at work, and time to start bringing these buildings to life a little bit first, just by figuring out the doors and windows. You may be wondering where I got the pale oak wood from here. I did find a pale oak forest on stream a little while back, thanks to Amy in the chat. And yeah, so we'll head out there in a bit and I'll give you a peek at it. But I was still just hard at work here, filling things in. I like the white glass. I think that really just works for a winter build. Frosty windows. And using some cherry wood and mangrove wood as well, just kind of going with the colorful theme, and I think things are looking really cool here. It's time to just give a few details, get some frames around the windows and all that. And I know a lot of these colors just aren't mixing very well, but that's kind of the point of a gingerbread house, is it's just kind of free for all, I feel like. So I think it actually works perfectly fine. And I do like using the pale oak wood, I will say that. And then it was time to start really going crazy with the colors, which this is when it really starts to come to life, is getting some gumdrops on the roofs. Going with essentially the same concept of my original house down there and just kind of repeating it and getting some light on as well, just so the roofs aren't spawnable. And using some end rods as some icicles where it makes sense. And I think this actually looks really good and just lights up the builds real nicely. I think they just do a lot to add to the vibe here, but still not quite colorful enough yet. So I start going around with some of the nether plants, because I don't want to go with just normal flowers. I want things to be kind of exotic and candy-like. So these are kind of like licorice vines. And just adding to the color around here. And I made the entryways, I used carpet so that it won't pile up with snow. Just another way to bring in a little color. And at this point, I couldn't be happier with how things are looking here. I just love the mismatch of colors, and it just being the perfect excuse to just not even think about it and just go crazy with them. And I really like I think the nether plants pop really well, work perfect for this build, and gumdrops on the roof obviously is just brings everything to a whole nother level. And just the view at nighttime especially is just really cool. And you can see I took off the soul torches that I had on there just because I like the nice clean look that we have going on in the buildings up here. And yeah, I'm just having lots of fun with this build, and I'm really in a good mode here. And one last little session we're going to do is some landscaping, get some of these Tootsie Pops up there and all that. But first I wanted to just take a little trip out, because I figure I better get it in the episode here, to the pale oak that we found. And yeah, it's a really cool area with this huge dark oak forest with the island in the middle, and we got 3 little pale oak biomes surrounding it. And this is actually a fairly big one here compared to what I've kind of seen on YouTube. But yeah, we did our exploring of the pale oak on stream. I think it's part 2 of the wintry stream. But for now, I just needed to grab a couple stacks of pale oak wood while I was here, because I wanted to use them for the trunks of my Tootsie Pops here. And yeah, I think this is just kind of a cool way to kind of create its own little biome up here. And like I said, just makes sense for a gingerbread house. I think these end up just looking really good. kind of tedious to build a bunch of, but well worth it. I ended up stripping a few of the sticks here, but I kind of regretted it right away because I like the contrast of the natural log a little better, I think. So I left a few of the natural ones, but I think the little suckers are adding a lot to the area. And I finished by just going around with some more gumdrops and clean up my little work area here a little bit. Just bringing more and more color. And also replacing a bunch of the dirt, exposed dirt, with ice, just because I think it looks a lot better. And ended by climbing up every Tootsie Pop I made and putting light at the top so that it will look cooler at night. And definitely worth the trip, because it's looking awesome. And I ended by just doing the little mushroom blocks to add a little light around the bottom area. And at this point, I couldn't be happier with the progress that we made here. I just think we really got a unique thing going down here, and everything just comes together so nicely. I really had fun with this, and I'm excited for it to be something that I return to every year around Christmas time. The way it's just nestled in the hillside here just really just takes you away from the rest of the world. And yeah, it's its own little thing here. Very unique build. I feel like I really haven't seen that many gingerbread houses and stuff on YouTube, which is actually kind of crazy. Because, like I said, it's just such a cool excuse to just go crazy with the colors, and it's really easy to just free flow with, I feel like. Now, I'll be honest, I would have liked to get a few more details in and some texture and all of that, and obviously we don't have any of the interiors done. I may or may not stream that to end my Christmas. So late Christmas night, I think I might jump on stream and do at least a little start on the interiors and maybe just a few more details. Just because, I'll be honest, I was procrastinating on this episode as it went. I've just really been having fun streaming, so I'm just kind of in that mode at the moment. But I did want to get this out. I wanted to get it out before Christmas, but now we're getting it out Christmas Day. And yeah, again, I just think it's so cool down here, and I'm going to do a little editing magic and let it become nighttime one more time. And the way that everything pops, the white roofs with the light on it, just really cool. And the end rods just work perfect for icicles since they don't connect. Otherwise, I would use glass, but it's just always wanting to connect and be finicky. But yeah, I just really think the vibe down here is something special. We'll get nighttime view from the viewing spot as well, and yeah, it just looks like a snow globe to me. I wish it was snowing right now, but yeah, just I can't say it enough. Very fun way to step out of the box in my building style, and I'm really looking forward to having it be something that I return to every year around this time and just expand across this whole mountainside here. And yeah, definitely want to wish you all a Merry Christmas who celebrate, and Happy Holidays for whatever you celebrate all around the world. And I've really enjoyed making this episode here. And I know they've slowed down just a little bit, but that's mainly because I've been getting into streaming, and I'm liking it more than I might have thought. So come catch a stream one of these nights. When I do stream, it's usually kind of a late night stream between 10 and 11 Western Pacific time. So yeah, come check it out. And as always, thank you all for coming, and have a good day.